Well, I'm on my way down to Barrie right now. I said that I had some work to do today. And not every Sunday we get to work, but you know what? It's been a good Sunday. I woke up at decent time, got some bacon and eggs on the road. Addie Bear and I are going. Steve jumped in. I want to talk about the 2-year-olds. We'll talk about the 2-year-olds moving forward. Some updates on some horses. Absolute euphoria was to the vet the other day. They couldn't find anything, but I still think I see something right behind a little bit. So as I said to James the other day, I think I'm going to put her on the shoeing list. We put flip-flops on her up front. I want to put egg bars on her behind. Maybe she's got a little something bothering her, and we really just have to give her some time to get over it. Obviously, there's nothing found on fluoroscope, so that would lead you to believe there's nothing there, but not certain. Not certain there's nothing there. So, put the egg bars on her this week, go easy with her, and see what happens over the next week. Certainly nothing to be concerned about just yet, but something I am keeping my eye on. Always charming, looked great training his last 2 trips. Again, a lot of these horses were getting ready to train yesterday when I walked in the barn and told everybody there'll be no training today. We're just jogging, and the only horses that trained were, oh my gosh, depend on it, some of the 3-year-olds. Any of the horses that I had thought were a little bit behind and needed the work, they went yesterday. And Always Charming was not one of those. So we'll go Tuesday, I think. Wednesday, there's some rain coming and warm temperatures. You know, this is the worst part of any season, is this minus 11 right now. Minus 11 right now. And it's going to be plus 6 and rain on Wednesday. That plays havoc with the horses. Really tough to keep everybody healthy when you're dealing with weather like this. Yes, honey? You're silly. Anchors up, looked better the other day, James said, training on Wednesday. I told James, this is a big colt with pretty good breeding. It's just going to take time. You know, you're not going to see all the horses come forward immediately like some of them do, right? And there is a correlation between their size. Some of the horses that are medium build horses are going to look really flashy earlier than these big giants, right? Now, some of the big horses look good, but you have to take it all on a case-by-case basis. And Anchors up again. James said, I was really happy. I thought the horse looked way better the other day training, so we'll see how he looks on Tuesday. Austral Hanover's just getting back into the swing of things now. This is a horse that had a curb crowd, then he was castrated, so he is a couple of weeks behind everybody else. Captain of the Airs in the boat, also castrated, curb crowd. He's getting back into the swing of things now, also at the barn. Carter Michael Dio has looked absolutely fantastic for the last month or so, virtually since the day we broke him. But he did have his stumblings, his hurdles that he had to take twice before he got over. He's looking great right now. Also, and for a horse that's training on an icy track with flip-flops, that to me is the most impressive thing. Not only does he look really good, but how he's doing it is the most impressive thing. Cash Deals was ready to train yesterday. First training trip back from her curbs being crowd, and we canceled yesterday. So again, this is a different situation. I don't want to be training horses that just had curbs crowd on an icy track. So we did not go with Cash Deals. Tuesday will be her first trip back. Chocolate for lunch. Again, no need to go with her yesterday. She looked fantastic the week before. Columbus, same type of thing. This horse is really, really, really coming forward. Very impressed with what I've seen. Addie Bear, what's up, sweetheart? What's wrong? It seems like you talk a lot more when the videos are on. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah, say hi, everybody. Oh, no, you're being cranky. Okay. So Columbus looked... You need that fixed? What's wrong with that? It turned off? Here, give it to me. We'll make Steve fix it. Here we go, Steve. We're looking for the dinosaurs. Oh, you turned it off. Go back into Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Columbus looked fantastic his last 2 training trips. He is really, really maturing. Now, this is what I wanted to see. This was a horse that was very frustrating. I think it's indicative of the breed. We've had 5, 6, 7 what the hills over the last 2 years. Fast, little quirky, but all have been very stubborn. And that's okay. It usually dissipates with work. It certainly is dissipated with castration and work for our boy. What do you say, sweetheart? You're welcome, sweetheart. So Columbus, very happy with him. Coupe de Ville has been just great. I really didn't know if the shoeing changes we made would help her the way they did, and they absolutely have. She's gone from interfering to trotting perfectly, and I'm super, super happy with what I've seen from her. Crantini, a lot of people messaging me, can we do something to change these brakes? Can we put the hobbles on him or castrate him? No, I'm not doing any of that. None of it with him. This is a horse, again, we treat every horse differently. Every horse is an individual, and with this particular horse, I'm happy with what I've seen from his maturity. I'm happy from what I've seen on the track. I don't think hobbles or castration are going to make him come forward any quicker. This is a big, strong colt. He's got a good attitude, so I don't want to castrate him. He's doing his work well. I don't feel there's any need for any sort of extracurricular work with this horse at the moment. He just needs to train down like a baby, because that's what he's doing. Right now, all I'm looking for is talent, right? Looking for talent. I'm looking for work ethic, attitude. I see good things from Crantini, and certainly no reason for me to rush into doing anything rash like castrating him or putting hobbles on him just yet. That may change quickly, but as of right now, February the 13th, 2022, I have no plans to castrate or put hobbles on Crantini. Cunning Connie continues to do her work great. Very impressed with this filly. You know, you and I talked about how tough it is to buy an Ontario bred. You look at who we picked up, that Nothing But a Dreamer for $21,000. He's looked fantastic. And Cunning Connie, two horses that we were able to pick out of a very large haystack this year. Now, hopefully they work out. Don't know. The other filly also, Lady All-Star, I think I got her squared around. We did put the hobbles on her. Her attitude has come. Her work ethic's come. Very impressed with all three of these Ontario breds so far. So Cunning Connie looks great. The horse I was looking for earlier, Cutie Cumber, I had Cunning Connie in my mind. Cutie Cumber has looked great. Made a couple of breaks in her last two, but again, a horse I'm not worried about. Super fast, one of our most talented fillies, as she should be. It's a full sister to help is on the way. And Amy said on Wednesday when she went, she looked fantastic. Johnny went with her on Wednesday. A few little changes, I'm sure, and she was just fine. Depend on it. This is a guy, you know, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got time. He's got a lot of work to do, this horse. I trained him yesterday by himself. He's still a little bit ignorant. We just castrated him. He just, you know, I keep thinking back to another horse that we had that was the same way last year, Matt's MVP. And I wanted to believe if you took a horse that was completely rude and ignorant and had a bad work ethic, Addie Bear, but turned them out, could they overcome those glaring deficiencies? Could they overcome it and come back and be a horse that wanted to work, enjoyed their work, did well? Well, Matt's MVP paved that road for everybody, because he is not like that anymore. I drove him the other day from the rail in the qualifier. Here's a horse that has had the hobbles on his whole life, had them off since we hasn't had them on in 2022 or training back in 2021. Off the gate a little bit. I caught up to the gate, trotted around the first turn great, got away fourth in an open qualifier with aged pacers. Down the backstretch, a horse in front of me was done. I moved around them, sat third now on the third on the horse's helmet in front of me around the last turn. Moved him over into two aged pacers, and he run them both down. 2 minutes on a day the track was getting very bad. Fenders and aprons were on. 2 seconds, I believe, given for the track, and it was worthy of it. This horse looked very good. Absolutely no hint of ignorance, rudeness, and certainly no hint of him not wanting to come forward. So Matt's MVP has paved the way. You know, if we... Hey, what's wrong? You need your drink? Well, where is it? It fall down? Well, you're going to have to wait a few minutes. Okay, sweetie? So depend on it. Here's a horse I see doing some of the same things. Now, other horses have done the same things at the same time this year. That doesn't mean they can work their way through it. But worst case scenario, they can. Shh, Addie, I'm doing video, babes. What's wrong? You need what? All right, give me a minute, sweetie. So depend on it. Wasn't happy with him yesterday, but I'm going to keep an eye on this guy moving forward. I'm happy with his gait now. He was just freshly castrated a week and a half ago, so that may play a role. It took Columbus a little while also to start to do his work right. So I'm apt to give him a pass, short pass, a hall pass, if you will. Nothing better than freezing cold water. Love it. So that's it on Depend on It. Dreaming of Credit. This was a horse we took to the university. He was a ridgeling. We had him castrated. Everything went great. He's back jogging now. Another horse, I'm very interested to see how he comes forward in the coming weeks. Enzo Aguelo, I gotta watch what I say here. The breeder's in the courage. He's been exceptionally good. You know, as I said to everybody, a breath of fresh air and a treat. Not very often you see horses as fast as him that do nothing wrong. As I said, White Tiger was a nutcase his whole life. Now he's 6. Finally figured it out. Took him 4 years, but he's figured it out now. You know, not often you see horses absorb everything so quickly and do everything so right as this horse. He's just been a breath of fresh air. Really, really happy with him. Fashion Presidente, another horse that's actually been a breath of fresh air. I haven't paid attention to him. You guys saw him make a break the other day. It's fair. His hobbles, and weren't my hobbles, the ones that I made. They didn't break. It was an older set of hobbles, and the strap actually broke. If you look close and you watch back, just slow it down and watch, you can see the strap let go and the hobbles come forward underneath him when he makes a break. This horse has been lights out great, and Danny absolutely loves him. In fact, to the point where Danny asked me not to castrate him. At least put him way down the list. He said, this horse is perfect now. And I agree, he is perfect right now. 5 Fish Species is catching up, just needs time. This filly was sick for a while, right? We had talked about she'd missed most of the month of December due to sickness, so she's now just starting to catch up. Just give her 2-3 weeks and then take a look at her and see how she looks. Full Heart, probably one of our best Ohio breds right now, one of our top performers. She's going to stay up in the top class, so to speak. This is a full count. I ran into the breeder of Full Count, the guy who stands, Marvin Raber, and I told him at the sale, I said, you know, the Full Count we have is one of our best horses and one of our best Ohio breds this year. It's been very, very good. So he was pretty impressed with that. Full Heart, very, very happy with this filly. Gandalf the Black, you know, we'll give him time. I told Mario, I said, you know, I need to see a lot more from this horse over the coming months. He's okay, he does his work well, he looks good. I just need to see a little flash in the pan from this guy. So we'll see if that happens in the coming months. Also, GJ's ATM has been great. I gelded him the other day, though. He bit me. Don't bite daddy. That's a no-no. You don't bite daddy. So he bit me the other day going by his stall, and I said, all right, we had an opening. It just so happened that we had an opening in the castration list that particular day, and we had a horse that was had a little bit of a temperature, so we had an opening in the castration list. Oh, GJ just slid right in there.
Sure, don't use the testicles.
Yeah, you want to get gelded, that's an easy way to do it, bite daddy. So GJ's ATM, now a gelding, but a horse that's very, very impressive. I've been extremely impressed with him on the track. That biting stuff, I can tell you what happens. Sometimes the caretakers let them away with it, and they nip and play, and they think it's funny, but sometimes the studs start to be studs, and nipping and playing turns into a little nip, turns into a grabbing of the arm, and I had to talk to the horse and the caretaker about that. High Enterprise, very rare. We had a yearling, a 2-year-old pop a quarter crack. It never happens, but this filly did. We put a window bar on her, and she beat them training the next week and looked great again on Wednesday. This is a filly. Her and Full Heart are really battling it out amongst the tops. I think Full Heart's got her right now, but High Enterprise is looks incredible of late. High Hill Street Blues, that was the other horse I went with yesterday. Got to change the shoes on this guy. He's not trotting good at all with the hobbles. So what happens is, when you put the hobbles on the horse, they have to learn how to use them. Sometimes a little more weight doesn't go a long way with hobbles on. You need to lighten them up so they can learn to use the hobbles. And this guy, I trained him with the hobbles on, making mistakes in the same places. Just needs confidence, but to do that, we have to get him shod properly. Close, but not there yet. Horn Player, talk about shoeing. Horn Player has been magnificent the last 2 weeks. I don't use that word a lot, magnificent. It's a very elegant word. But Horn Player she's legit. Well, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't know Laugh Now. I can tell you that for sure. Horn Player's just been a treat to be around. Dominic loves her to death. It's pretty hard not to like her. She loves her work, understands her work, and excels at her work right now. She's a perfect type of horse also. There's a very few horses on that list that do it right, understand it, and want to do it better. You got Enzo, Full Heart. There's a number of horses on that list. Not that many. I'm going to say 5 or 6. But most definitely Full Heart is another one also. Those horses are definitely on that list. Lady All-Star, not on that list. But her attitude is dissipated. She understands her work. She's doing it. She's on the cusp of turning into a nice filly. Just need to polish her up too, because when she starts to come forward and speed up, she gets really hot and grabby. Need to work on that gear. so to speak. But Lady All-Star looks great. The horse that's improved as much or more than anybody in the barn in the last month. Landing Pad, really impressed. I love this horse. I love everything about Landing Pad. I like the way he trots. I like his tenacity. I like his work ethic. This is a horse that I really, really like. Landing Strip, a little over in the left shaft, struggling a little bit. Might have him up to the vet. I don't see anything that appears to be major with him that's bothering him. Maybe it's just growing pains. Maybe he's just learning how to switch gears. What happens is sometimes when you get to the turns on a half-mile track with the babies that are learning to go fast, they slow up. That is counterintuitive. It's your first reaction is to slow up, obviously, but what they need to do is push through, because when they slow up, they box their gait up, and then they do end up hitting themselves. So you have to get them to a point where their confidence is at a level where you can push them through the turns, and once they learn how to do that, the sky's the limit. Landing Pad's kind of stuck on that right now, but he's getting there. He won his set last week on the video. If you go back and look at him, then watch what he does when he gets to the turn. He gets a little rolly, a little out of gear. That's him learning how to get around touching. We need to get him to push right through. He's coming. He's not there yet. Leaps and Bounds, same type of thing. Touching in the turns, but again, very strong filly, very fast filly, well bred. I love everything about Leaps and Bounds. Lost Spirit, we gelded him. He was set today of his first training trip back from castration yesterday. Missed that, obviously. We'll go with him on Tuesday. May Lose Control has looked good. This is a horse that's going to fly under the radar all year. Yes, honey. Just hold on. We're almost there, babes. This is a horse that is going to fly under the radar and look good quietly for the entire rest of the season. Got a real nice gait, real snappy way of going, and Danny really likes this horse also. Magical Tom, you guys saw him in the video the other day. It was his first training trip in 3.5 weeks, and he did it very easily. Really impressed. It looks like we're only going to get one mare bred to Long Tom. I got to call Midland Acres. I made a mistake. The other horse that I had slated was Canadian Titan potentially, but it's too close. Right? She's a cadaver mare out of when it was explained to me, Long Tom is what, Muscle Hill? So he's a Muscle Hill, and there's Muscle Hill in the family of Canadian Titan. So when I'd asked somebody, one of the breeders, they said, I don't...
EL Titan.
Yeah, EL Titan, right. They said, you can't go to Long Tom. And I said, why not? They said, there's too much Muscle Hill. You can't do that. I said, I didn't know, so I'm going to have to call the farm and ask them. I want the Long Tom breeding, I just don't have a mare for it right now. So I'll buy the breeding for next year if I'm I don't want to leave them stuck, because they do expect me to buy these two breedings. I love Long Tom. I can't have an Alabama baby. I can't. You live in Alabama. I didn't mean anything by that. There's nothing wrong with Alabama. It's an inside joke. Yeah, deliverance. Okay. Long Tom, love Magical Tom. Horse looked great the other day. Marshall Zukov continues to look good. Very happy with him. We've been jogging him with a very low head, no head check, so he can look at the track. Right? He's very nervous around, shit on the track, like dirt or shoes or anything. He looks at them, he'll skip over them. Can't have him doing that. So we've been jogging him, let him get a look at everything. So he's a little more confident on the track. Danny says it's been working. He's been going good, so that's great. Merchant Man has looked fantastic. Very happy with him. My 1%, for a horse that I've ranked as a C at Christmas time, this horse looked fantastic the last 2 weeks, and I couldn't be happier. There isn't a bigger fan in the world of this colt than me. This is Demian's colt, and just been fantastic training. Looked great last 3-4 times he trained. Nothing but a dreamers. Looked great. This horse is massive on the track now. He's getting really, really big. Oh my gosh, I told everybody, hold on. I know he's making breaks. I know he's in place. He needs to go to the principal's office. He was there. He is fixed. Now he's just got to start. We got to start putting some speed into him. Keep in mind, it's very hard to teach a horse to go fast when they're running all the time. I don't know the last flat line he had before yesterday, and then I didn't really go a mile, but going the right way of the track Friday. Saturday he looked great. I went a mile 43 with him on a very icy surface. Much, much better. He looks great. Old Czech was just castrated. He's been doing his work well. Very happy with him. Outlaw Jesse James, a little pinchy up front. I think that's a big gym in him. We're going to get some razor pads on him and keep him moving forward. I think he's going to miss 1 week of training though. Real Fear, little choppy since he came back, but he's just got to find his gait, this colt, right? We had a splint crowd, we had a curb crowd. He missed some time. He was sick. Just got to get him back moving. I assume we're getting off here right? Yeah. Just got to get back going. Good for this guy. Rito Legacy starting to pick it up and look real good on the track. Rosita's Dream has looked fantastic. We castrated him a couple of weeks ago. He's looked very good. Silent Assassin, I told you, once we get the hobbles on this filly and put some work into her, she'd really come forward. Very impressed with Silent Assassin. This is our Devious Man, New York bred trotting filly. Very happy with her. Sipping on my shine has looked great. I'm really happy with this colt. Sir Strong looked good his last 2 training trips, but then we did castrate him. He was just getting a little stutty, a little ignorant. I almost changed my mind on the castration from the way he trained his last 2 training trips, but he had already gone so far down that road, it was just too hard to recover. So he stayed and was castrated. It's not going to hurt him anyway. Sister Solange was great. I got a call from Johnny today. Said she kicked the gate and bruised her foot or something. She was limping a little bit. That'll happen. These are babies. You know, they're in the stall on a Sunday, nothing going on. I see there's a correlation between horses kicking the walls on Sundays and getting injured, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm sure she'll be fine. Johnny said there didn't appear to be any injuries. So Sister Solange, she might miss a week now because of this, but as I own a bunch of shares and you own a bunch of shares, I'm not really that concerned with it. It happens. You know, when you first hear it, I want to get angry, but who are you going to get angry at? It's not the gate's fault. It's not the stall's fault. Nobody did anything wrong. She's a baby being a baby. So the good news is she didn't appear to hurt herself. A little bruise on her foot or leg or something should be fine. Smoking Hot Irish Girl is just a really nice filly. She's finding her way right now. I know I haven't really been in a rush with her. There's no need to be. Johnny loves her. Has done a great job with her. He's going to continue to go with her. Spitfire Overseas, probably one of the most underrated horses in the entire training center. This is a big, giant, fast, strong colt. I can't wait to see what he looks like in July. He's going to be mammoth. Swinging Senorita, another big filly, looked great. I got to talk to I got to talk to Sanina the other day at which is Springhaven Farms. They had kept a small piece of both Swinging Senorita and High Enterprise. They were the breeders of them. It's funny because Sanina loves High Enterprise. Jeff, her husband, loves Swinging Senorita. I love both of them, and both of them have done really, really well. Tactical Mounds trained yesterday. I told you guys we get her back on track. Village saying, oh, she hurt her knees, had to have that stitches done, and then got hurt. You know how much? Oh, we're on this road.
Yeah, it's just up here.
How much time are they going to miss? How much time are they? Yeah, she jogged for 2 weeks, trained, got her right back into the swing of things.
Jeff's house there.
Is this where we're turning?
Yeah.
Yep. Just trained awesome yesterday. I trained her with Tioga Sunshine actually because not a lot of horses were training, but very impressed with the way she did her work. Tailgate Buzz was very good right here, 3804.
Yep.
Tailgate Buzz was very, very good also on in his training session on Wednesday and again last Saturday. Tactical Tactor, we changed his name. His name is Brace for Landing, so he'll be in the B's from now on. He's been training good and growing like a weed. He's huge and looks very, very good. Twin Cedars All-Star, inch by inch, we're getting this guy. He's getting better and better. We'll see. It's going to take some time. Una Madonna slapped the hobbles on her the other day. She was absolutely, baby horsies, we're here now. She was fantastic the other day, training. Yeah, you're going to go out just a second, though. Just wait. He's in here? Okay. So Una Madonna was... Shh. Hey, hold on. We're going to go out and see the babies, but I just got to finish this video. 1 second. So Una Madonna was awesome. She was acting up and just being a stubborn filly the other day. Didn't want to trot in the icier surface. So I said, fine, no problem. A little overtime for you. She went in, got the hobbles on, and it was like a light went off in her head. Mario went with her, said she was awesome. James went with her the other day. He said, what a change. He said before she could trot fast, but a trotter, you had to watch her. He said, she felt like a 5-year-old the other day. Just move her whenever you want, do whatever you want, sprint away from them, back into them. She looked incredible, so obviously she was ready to get the hobbles on. Victor Cruz, also a breath of fresh air. This is a horse I said, we'll see. You know, he's a cranky little bugger. He's been doing his work great. And even if he turns into a nice fair horse, that's him right there.
Green.
Okay. A nice fair horse, is it the one with the bale of hay on his head?
Yeah.
A nice fair horse and a nice grass rooter, then that would be great. And it certainly seems like he's on his way to doing that. Werwey Yuri, again, you're going to have to hit pause. He's going to take time. This is a guy we're going to have slated for later on in the summer. I like what I've seen from him. I know it's hard to say that. He's doing his work the best he can, and that's all I can ask him to do right now. The breeding is there. The gait is there. Just relax. What a Mission, back training now after being castrated. I reported him as being castrated 3 weeks ago. He was not. He was castrated last week, like 9 days ago. Back going now and looks good. Whispering Song, one of the biggest movers. Her and Landing Pad, the two biggest movers of the entire month. This filly looks very, very strong. You talk about our Ohio fillies. I can name 3 that are training as good as we've ever had Ohio bred yearling filly, 2-year-old training right now. Whispering Song, Full Heart, and High Enterprise. And amongst others, Swinging Senorita, Irish Girl. We have 5 legit killer fillies so far for Ohio next season. And wouldn't it be nice, just getting back into the swing of things now. I was supposed to train, I was going to go slow mile, temperature 101.1. Was it a temperature? Not really, but enough that I'd say, okay, just jogger. We'll get her there. There's no rush. We'll get her there. So those are the 2-year-olds, 25 minutes. Those are the 2-year-olds. We've arrived at our destination. I'm going to look at a little yearling right now, and I will talk to all of you very soon. Take care.